Good morning for me here. It may be nighttime there for you. We're going to finish our insects today, and I have some interesting things to show you. One thing I have is we're going to learn about some tools you can use this summer to really enjoy looking at insects. Do you know what this is? It's not a window, and it's not a mirror because you can see through it. Do you know what this is? This is a magnifying glass. Here's a much stronger one. And this makes things very big. You can see little things. A magnifying glass is a fun thing to keep in your special box and take it outside and look at insects. We'll do a little bit of that in just a minute. First of all, let's finish our little thoughts here. Do you know what kind of insect that is? Does it have 6 legs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Does it have 3 body parts? Let's see. 1, head, thorax, abdomen. Yes. Oh, look, it's an antenna. It almost looks like a moth, doesn't it? And everybody knows what this is, because this is a mosquito, and we know what he does with his proboscis, and we don't like that part, do we? Look for insects under stones, boards, under bark of trees, and on plants. Catch them and put them in a jar for a while where you can watch them closely. Use a magnifying glass. See this? You can make them bigger. Try to find some caterpillars, feed them, watch them grow, and then watch them make cocoons. Look for cocoons and keep them until the moths come out. Look for a chrysalis and keep it until the butterfly comes out. Look for crickets and grasshoppers that are not grown up. Watch bees gather pollen and nectar on the flowers. They're usually so busy, they'll just let you watch them. You can get very close and they won't sting you. Try to find a dead bee and look at it through a magnifying glass. Look for the pollen baskets on its legs. Bring some woolen cloth out and try to find holes that the moths have been eating. Find a black ant and look at it through a magnifying glass. Well, we're going to do that today. Sometimes the easiest way to look at an insect is after it dies. And even, I went out on my sun porch, which is out there, and I looked on those windowsills, and sure enough, there was a dead fly. So I took my white piece of paper, and I laid him on. I picked it up. I scooped it up with the paper. I didn't touch it because, flies, they get on poop and stuff. Sometimes they're not very clean. They don't wash their feet, so it's probably best not to handle them with your hands, but I just scooched them up on this paper, and I thought today we would try looking at this fly. Now, I don't think the magnifying glass is going to work here. Maybe a little bit, but I think we'll just use the magnifying glass on here. Can you see anything that makes this fly an insect? It has wings. See if I can get this. It has wings. Yeah, see, they don't fly away from you when they're dead. Can you see the antenna right there? 1, 2 antenna. He probably has 6 legs too, but we just can't see them. I'd never thought about a fly having 6 legs, but I suppose he does. But you can see the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. And if you were doing this outside on a bright day with a magnifying glass, you could see his beautiful eyes. You can kind of see right there. He has very beautiful, complex eyes. Flies only live for a few days. Let's turn him over. I notice he has 2 sets of wings. 1, 2. And I see 1, 2. I think his 4 legs are curled up, and then his back legs are sticking out. But you can see his abdomen really well right there. And like I say, his eyes are quite beautiful. But his days are over, you know, just like our days will be over someday. Our bodies were not meant to live forever. And animals and insects, they just serve a very short time on this earth and then they're gone. But people are going to live forever. They're going to either live with God or with God's enemy. And so, let's say goodbye to Mr. Fly. He's served his purpose. And isn't he beautifully and wonderfully made? You know, God puts a lot of work into even something as common as a fly. Look how beautiful his wings are. They look like fairy wings. And did you notice his feet? Did you notice those little, I can do it here. Did you notice the little hooks? Okay, hang on with me here. Did you notice on his feet he has those little hooks? That's how he climbs up walls. He can hang on really tight. He can walk on the ceiling and not fall off. God gave him a lot of very complex tools, didn't he? And he's just a common housefly that people swat with a fly swatter. So next time you kill a fly, just remember, we can kill them if they're getting in our food. A lot of times I just let them out. I just chase them out of the house and let them outside. But even if you have to kill them or kill a mosquito, remember, even mosquitoes are fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay, let's go to our Bible story now. We're done with our insect story. So let's put that away. Goodbye, insects. That was really interesting. Grandma enjoyed remembering about insects. Today, though, we're going to read more about Peter. I've really enjoyed reading about Peter. I hope you have too. Here we have Peter. He's at the church after praying for the lame man who couldn't walk. Do you think people were happy that the lame man was healed? Well, Peter is talking to the bad men who killed Jesus. And even though they're at church, they don't like Peter and would like to kill him too. They are angry because Peter made that man walk, who was sitting on the steps of the church. Isn't that sad that they were angry about that? In the picture, you can see the man standing there with Peter. You see him? Peter tells them that Jesus made the man well again. They are telling Peter not to talk about Jesus anymore. And Peter is not minding them. See, Peter, he knows he has to talk about Jesus. Peter minds God, but not these men. So he will keep on telling people how kind and wonderful and powerful Jesus is. Now, it's too bad when there are people who are jealous. Did you know people sometimes will get in the way of good things happening just because they're jealous? And they want to be the ones that everyone is following, and they want to be the ones to heal people, and they don't want anyone else to try to take their job, and they will stop good things. They will get in the way of even God doing things. So we don't want to ever be those people that get in the way of what God is doing because we're jealous of other people. Do the bad people want Peter to talk about Jesus? No, they don't. Will Peter stop talking about Jesus? No, he will suffer a lot for it, but he will keep talking about Jesus because these men are very powerful men, and they are the ones that got the Romans to kill Jesus. So Peter used to be very afraid of them, but now that he has the Holy Spirit, he's bold. And even knowing that these men killed Jesus, he's going to go ahead and tell the good news. so that people won't die without God. This story is found in Acts 4, verses 5 through 21. Lord, thank you for your Holy Spirit, God, that helps us, God, to be bold and gives us the right words to say at the right time. Help us to be bold like Peter and to tell people your good news.